Hey guys, it's a fun time on Sean Chandler Talks About because I'm in the process of doing some massive upgrades to my setup, to my lights, to my green screen, and everything. Basically because I'm trying to find ways to take things up to the next level, especially going into the new TV season where I want to do more live stuff and try some new things that I haven't been able to do before just because of the limitations, because of the equipment that I have. And now time to do some upgrades. So if you're unaware, up to this point in time, I've been shooting my videos in front of the green screen that is poster board literally tacked into the wall. And so that's what all my videos have been shot in front of up to this point in time. I got a couple people saying, hey, be wise, hey, movie rankings, Jet Reese. But like, this is what I've been shooting in front of this whole time, is a wall of stuff I bought from CVS. And then for my lights, I've been using these bad boys right here that I bought at Home Depot with just some light bulbs in there. That's kind of all. Hey, Log Dump, thanks for joining in. Remember the apples and the green apples. But as of just a few days ago, I made some big, massive improvements to my setup where I actually bought some of these fancy softbox lights to take things up to the next level to be able to shoot properly. So I'll take you over here towards where I'll be shooting in the future. But, so as you can see behind me, I have a new green screen that's an actual green screen as opposed to poster board tacked into my wall. So trying to do something to do it properly. The last 2 or 3 videos that I've put out there are actually, were shot in front of this one. It's so much better, so much nicer to shoot in front of an actual green screen while using these actual softbox lights. It acts so much better. Everything works so much easier. But here's the thing I'm really excited about all of this, is that this is a portable green screen. And so with my setup, hopefully I don't destroy everything, I moved that over, and now right behind it I've got a second set so that I can do live streams just like this one, still have something fun to shoot in front of, but with still my softbox lights, everything to be set up properly to be able to do live streams, and this little green screen can just move nice and easily. So very excited about the possibilities of being able to do both my normal setups as well as live streams. And my desk where I shoot is right here, so my wife will be able to join me. She can sit at the desks. Before, when we were doing stuff, I had like a card table that was like wobbly. It's literally the card table my parents had when I was growing up, is what we had it on. It like wobbled and stuff, and I was leaning my camera, which I'm using to do the live feed, on this stack of J.R. Tolkien books. And so it would fall over, all kinds of issues. But now I've got a setup to where we can do things permanent. I'm going to get like a clamp so I can record things all very nicely. Logged Up asked, what am I using to record? This is just my iPhone. I'm streaming straight live. If you're wondering what I normally shoot for most of my videos, I just use this webcam. 60 bucks, Logitech 920. That's all I use to shoot with. Not expensive at all. I use a Yeti. It's about a $120 microphone. That's it. You don't need expensive equipment. Actually, lighting will go so much farther than getting a camera, because camera technology is just so good these days. Anyway, that's kind of what I wanted to do, is kind of show you what's kind of going on, the upgrades. I actually just threw all this stuff up here real quick, and this is the first time I actually saw it on camera while I was doing something. I was like, hey, there's actually some potential. That could actually look pretty nice. So many, you can see my childhood in there, as well as some of the stuff I like these days. So there you go. That's all I really wanted to say to you guys, show you guys. It's a live feed, so if you're going to throw some questions my way, I'll answer some. And if any of you guys are watching a later date, aren't watching live, it's probably going to get weird after this point in time. People ask me crazy questions. Questions, anyone? Anyone? Shout-outs? Is there a delay, perhaps? Because there's a bunch of people chiming in, but they're not asking questions, thoughts. All right, well, if no one has any questions, then I might just head on out. Anything? Anyone? I'll start spinning in circles. Oops. There's my laptop. 2 of me right there. Log Dump says, wait! Be wise, will you do a review with your kids? Yeah, my kids are in there sometimes. Oh, Cody Leach says it was starting for a minute. That's not good. Ryan O'Toole asks, who do I have winning Rotten or Fresh? I'm going with Tyler Tompkins as the winner, with Jeff as a close second. Reese Ranks Movies just asked, do I think that the comic book movie genre will die? No. It'll change. It'll adapt. It'll be kind of dominant for a while, but like any kind of genres, they kind of go ups and downs, and so we'll see kind of what happens with that. But it's not going to die. It'll just change. Log Dumps S, are you doing NFL drafts? I don't know what that means. I am in a fantasy football league. I had my draft last Thursday, so I guess 1 week ago. I've got a killer team. I don't know who any of them are because I don't follow football other than to do fantasy football. And it's like an analytics thing for me, so it's just kind of fun. It's actually what I do. It's healthy in life to always have something you do where you can fail at it, and fantasy football is me. Ginny Lanucci says, when are you going to rank the Indiana Jones movies? Didn't I already do that? I think I did that a month ago. I'm almost positive I have already ranked the Indiana Jones movies. So check the playlist for my rankings. It's in there. I've done quite a few of them because I'm trying to crank them out, and there's still so many more that I want to talk about. So yeah. It was like, you're asking when I did it. It was like a month ago. It wasn't more than 2 months ago. It wasn't like it was in July probably when that happened. So anyway, there you go. Any other questions for me? Iker, hey, nice hello. Someone are asking, if it turns out that Joss Whedon wrote about 50% of Justice League, I lost Cody's question, but he's basically asking some thoughts on Whedon writing, directing, interaction on Justice League. What do I think of how all that's going to work? I mean, I have no clue. I just have no clue because it's such a weird thing with a movie being written, rewritten, last minute, shot, rewritten again, new director steps in, massive rewrites. I mean, it's unprecedented of that level of rewrites, reshoots, and all that kind of stuff. I have no idea what to expect. I'm optimistic. It's weird to me that it's Joss Whedon doing it, and especially with him having writing credit on it. That's getting pretty weird. To throw out a sports reference from back in the 80s, it's like if Larry Bird broke his leg and they called in Magic Johnson to take over for Larry Bird on the Celtics. It's a weird thing to have the Marvel guy coming in on DC to take over. Rhino to us, are you more excited for it or Justice League? Justice League, I'm not a Stephen King fan, so I'm not just, I'm interested. I'm going to be there opening night, but it's not one that I'm on the same page as everyone else, just being like super pumped and going crazy for it. JS, are you hyped for Ragnarok? Yeah, not as much as I want to be, though. Yeah, it's, and as people are asking, not asking, but kind of commenting, it'll probably be the better movie from Justice League, but I'm a comic book guy more than a Stephen King horror movie kind of guy, so that's how it kind of works. I'm more excited for Justice League than I am for Thor Ragnarok. Justice League's probably the movie I'm most interested in this fall, probably even more than Star Wars, just because it's interesting to me, because I like DC more than Marvel when it comes to the characters. MCU's winning at the movies, but the characters I think at DC are a lot better. And just kind of throw into the mix the whole production of Justice League. Absolutely fascinating to me, this production. So I'm just so curious as to what it's going to be, how it's going to turn out. Someone's asking about Flashpoint and how I think that's going to play out. If they do... I kind of feel like all bets are off with the DCEU. I have no clue what they're going to do. I have no clue where things are headed because they're announcing so many insane projects when they're talking about Suicide Squad, Gotham Sirens, Harley and the Joker, and Joker Origin, all within a week span. In 1 week, all four of those at the same time. I'm just kind of like... I have no, all bets are off. B Wise asks, are you excited about Lego Ninjago movie? Yes, in a weird way, because my son's absolutely in a Lego Ninjago phase right now. He watches it constantly. I've got the app on my phone, so I, by the nature of that, watch Lego Ninjago all the time. And my son plays the Lego Batman games all the time, so that's kind of his thing right now. So because of that, much more as a father than as a movie fan, I'm very excited about Lego Ninjago because it's one that, like the first time on a school night, I'm going to take my son to the movies. Now, I'm saying this on the internet because then my wife might find out about it. I could find myself a little bit of trouble because of that, because she's probably going to tell me I can't take my 5-year-old to the movies on a school night, but we'll see what happens on that. But for that reason, I'm very excited about it on that level. Someone asked, I think Ryan O'Toole asked, am I excited about Matt Reeves' The Batman? I mean, of course, because it's a Batman movie and because it's a Matt Reeves movie, but because it's this insane DCEU crap with all these different things, I just have no clue. Jeannie asks, you should do another ranking of the Joker actors. It'll happen. It'll definitely happen. So I don't know when. I'm probably about once a month, once every 3 weeks, gonna do kind of rank the actors who've played a character. So, Superman's an obvious one, Joker's an obvious one. So that's the sort of thing that it'll come. One of those will be next month, and then another one will be a month after that. But Joker's one people keep asking about, so I'll definitely tackle that at some point in time. Cody Leach says, you should rank all of my videos, just do it. I mean, that's on the schedule. That's kind of my big finale for the end of the year. I'm going to watch every single video on Cody Leach's channel and rank all of them. So that's a joke. BY says, you should rank the Rambo movies. Another one, it's definitely coming. I mean, I love the Rambo movies. Pete, actually, I was about to say Stallone is probably my favorite actor. I should probably put the context here. I am wearing the Apollo Creed / Rocky shorts at this movie at this moment. So if that gives you an context of my life of Sylvester Stallone, so I of course love the Rambo movies. So at some point in time, I'm going to do them. There's just only so many I can do in a specific week, as well as thinking the long haul for my channel. I want to keep putting out content forever, so I could put out 5 rankings per week. My family would hate me, but I could put out more rankings, but I'm just trying to think the long haul of let's kind of keep the pacing to all this so I can keep putting great content out, not having to get repetitive. Like with the MCU stuff and DC, I start repeating myself at a certain point in time. So that's kind of my thought process and what I'm trying to do here. Any other questions, or like maybe I'm just not reading them because a lot of stuff's happening. So if you got questions, that would be very exciting. I'm having fun. I guess I haven't done a live feed, or I did a live feed a few weeks back, and then my internet was bad. And every time my internet goes bad when I'm trying to do a live feed, it just kind of discourages me. It's very frustrating to kind of come out here talking with you guys, and then the internet's killing me, and people are just making statements. It's stuttering, internet's cutting out, and so that's where sometimes I stop. And I hope I can really get that fixed with the movie or TV season starting back up in just a few weeks, because of I want to do a lot of reactions after the shows that I different watch. Cody Lee says, do you think Matt Reeves' quotes about Batman not in the DC was WD testing the waters for fan reception of that idea? Woo! That's a pretty long one. No, basically the quote from Matt Reeves was from months ago. It was like months ago. It's from March, and it just everyone missed it. And for some reason, someone picked up on the quote last week, and then they put it out there. Hey, look, Matt Reeves said this. And it looks bad. It's a really bad quote to read it. But at the same time, people say dumb stuff all the time. So, I don't know what to make of any of the DCEU stuff, because it's so ludicrous how many projects they're announcing, how much stuff is slipping through the cracks, how many things are kind of getting out there. I don't even know what to make of some of it, because it's just real frustrating with a lot of it. I don't know what to make of it. It seems so unprofessional what's going on with the DCEU, and that they just can't stop the leaks. So that's kind of my take on it. Casey Brogan asks, how excited are you for it? I'm excited in that I'm excited for another kind of big quality movie that'll have a packed theater next Thursday to come out, because I haven't had one of those in a few weeks. But, at the same time, I'm just not a Stephen King guy. So I'm not one of these, like everyone else is like freaking out, it's going to make $85 million, it's good. I'm just not that guy. So I'm excited. I'm sure it'll be great. I'm having a ton of fun picking on my wife because she's freaked out by Pennywise. And so I keep trying to be like, hey, honey, I need to show you something real quick. Ah! It's Pennywise, and she freaks out. I tried to show her that clip that they released of the sewer thing. She didn't go for it. B Wise keeps asking me about when am I going to rank the Lord of the Rings movies soon. Actually, I watched Fellowship of the Rings, rewatched it. I watched the extended cut for the first time in a while. If you follow me on Twitter, I talked about it on there that I was watching it. And that's when I start saying I'm watching a series like that, that means a ranking's probably coming soon. If I put a poll up on my Twitter account, that means a ranking's coming soon. But basically, I built these new lights while watching Lord of the Rings. And then I built those, and there was still 4 hours left in the movie because it's an unbelievably long movie. But yeah, so Lord of the Rings, it's coming soon. It just takes a little while to watch through stuff because there's obviously a lot of movies coming out constantly, and lots of things I'm trying to rank, review, and those Lord of the Ring movies are so long. So, you know, that's kind of where things go. Iker says you should rank the DC Comics movies. I've ranked the DCEU. I haven't tried to like compile every movie that's based on a DC property. I haven't ranked them because that's tricky. There's just too many small things that have kind of come out. What I'm probably going to do right around when Justice League comes out, about a year ago, I put out a video where I basically talked about like 10, 11, 12 Marvel movies that people have forgotten that existed. And so that sort of thing I forgot about, or that people don't know about. And like the Roger Corman Fantastic Four movie, The Punisher from the 80s. There were a couple Hulk made for TV movies and stuff like that. And a video about that. So whenever the DC or Justice League comes out, I want to do that with DC movies that people have forgotten about. So I think I want to do that if I can make it work. Those things kind of it's a lot of research and homework I have to do to write some notes on it. So I'm going to try and do that. So I'll probably do a lot of things like that right around when the Justice League comes out. You guys are throwing a lot of questions at me. Someone's showing I should rank all the Tim Burton movies. There's a number I haven't seen. I'd be very interested. Oh, Reese asks, how excited are you about the Obi-Wan movie? You asked this before I saw it. There's a lot of stuff. I'm trying to talk while reading, so sometimes I lose them. How excited about the Obi-Wan movie? The Obi-Wan is the only one of these standalone characters, the spin-off movies that I'm actually excited about. It's the only one I'm kind of okay with. Like Han Solo seems like a bad idea to me. A Yoda movie, Boba Fett movie, Jabba the Hutt movie. All those sound like... They just don't seem like good ideas for movies because their character's not designed to be the lead character, and a sense of mystery to them works. Whereas you do an Obi-Wan movie, we've already got an established actor, we have a window of time where there's stories to tell, and you do a Star Wars movie that's essentially a Western. You do this guy, the lone aging gunman, except he's a Jedi. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do with that. And that's what I hope they do with it. I hope they intentionally make it a lower budget, kind of like with Logan. Logan wasn't a $200 million movie. Now, I don't need a rated R Obi-Wan movie. I don't mean like that. But what I mean is you take the big franchise and you do a movie in it, and you do it kind of half budgety. Log Dumps, and so let's say very excited. But Log Dump asks, how long until we see a Marvel DC crossover? Never going to happen. It'll never happen. I don't want to see it. It's just pure fan fiction. Their characters not designed to see together. Things like that don't. It's just kind of, what if there was like a Star Wars Star Trek crossover? I mean, that's a cool video on YouTube. If they did that, I'd be interested in Marvel DC crossover. But an actual movie of doing that just cheapens everything. It's just like a gimmick. Hey, like that boxing match this past weekend. They're just like, it's just kind of spectacle that it's like, oh, that's cool. Look what just happened. But it's not really trying to do storytelling because they don't actually go together. It's not a real thing. Jeannie just asked, also Batman actors, rank them. I think I'll do that. 2 days ago. Check that playlist. You should check the playlist. I've done a ton of stuff. There's a ton of stuff in there, but I definitely already did rank the Batman actors. It's literally the last one that I just did. Hey guys, also, you probably might have heard me mention this, but I started doing a podcast. So if you're a podcast listener, if you've got a car ride or anything like that, I'm starting to do not a daily podcast. That was a lie. Regular podcast. I did the second episode, put it up today. So check that out. It's in iTunes. So pretty excited about it. I don't know how to pronounce your Wincon C. You've been commenting. We interact quite a bit. Ask, what are my thoughts on The Last Jedi? Very sorry for butchering your name. I'm excited for it. I mean, you can look behind me. I like Star Wars. There's some Star Wars stuff here. So I like Star Wars, so I'm excited for Star Wars. I've liked The Force Awakens and Rogue One. I think the idea that they got the guy that did Looper, that's very interesting. He's so radically different from J.J. Abrams. J.J. Abrams is a popularist. He makes popular type things. He makes cheap entertainment. And I don't say that as a negative. I don't mean, like, I love J.J. Abrams, but he does, like, flashy, frill, in your face, you see the budget on the screen type things, and he does a great job at it. I really do love J.J. Abrams. He was kind of one of the top 5 people that I said, they should maybe look at J.J. Abrams to do this. But bringing in the guy that did Looper, he's so different. Complex, darker. I don't know if we've seen him do a fun movie before, so it's an interesting choice, and so it's fascinating to me. I'm expecting the new trailer very soon. I mean, if it dropped tomorrow, I wouldn't be surprised by that. Probably next week, or I would expect this new trailer, and that's when I think we'll have a lot more idea of kind of what's going on, but you know, we'll see kind of what happens. Coda Leach says, rank all the major horror icons. Expand your wheelhouse. I'm working on it. I literally watched all of the Saw movies last month because I'm stupid. It's more. It was my own personal way to jigsaw test of my endurance was to watch all the Saw movies. I'm actually really squeamish, and so the fact that I was able to do that is incredible that happened. Tyler Tompkin asks, when are you ranking the Human Centipede movies? I mean, as soon as possible, because I mean, that's probably my favorite film series. If there's a series, if I ever get to a point in my life I've seen any Human Centipede movies, that means I literally have been kidnapped by a serial killer that wants to kill me. I am not going to watch any Human Centipede movies. There's actually a joke in my marriage, is that as soon as I learned what the plot of the Human Centipede was, I told my wife, honey, don't let anyone tell you what the Human Centipede is. Don't read about it. Protect your mind. And so she doesn't, to this day, 5, 6, 7 years later, she does not know what the Human Centipede is. That's intentional. So yeah, we probably won't be ranking the Human Centipede movies anytime soon. Tyler, if you actually ever come to town, maybe that's the only way. If we could do a Human Centipede marathon at my house, me and my kids, you will eat some cheesecake and watch the Human Centipede movies. And we can rank them together. That would be such. Yeah, he says, do a Human Centipede live reaction. Yes, there's an idea that will definitely be demonetized by YouTube. Pizza, cheesecake, Human Centipede, and a barf bag. Trash Trackers, did you see the Supergirl TV show? I've seen season 1 and I've seen half of season 2. Season 2 just got so far off in all of their relationships, dating stuff, that I kind of lost it a little bit. I just got too preachy, too frustrating, too annoying that I couldn't do it. I just could not do watching Supergirl. And I'm trying to catch up before the new season. There's some people that keep asking me to rank the episodes and rank all the shows. Same with Legends of Tomorrow. I watched the first season. I watched a little bit of season 2, but it did some weird stuff right off the bat that just made me roll my eyes and get frustrated. And so they haven't won me over yet. I really like the guy that got on Superman. Kind of where Jeannie says, rank all the animated Batman movies. There's too many I haven't seen, so I did a video a couple weeks ago where I did my top 5 or something like that. But there's just too many to watch, and that's kind of where I haven't seen all of them, so I don't know that I'll ever rank all the Batman animated movies. There's like over 20 of them or something like that. So that's kind of where it's difficult to do that one. Let me see. I'm trying to remember what questions that I forget that you guys asked that seemed like good ones. So you guys asking some good questions. I forgot how much fun this is when it works right. Technology doesn't go crazy on you. So yeah. Any other questions? Logdom says, I love the live streams. Well, I love you. Sorry, that was probably a little bit too personal and kind. Then a bunch of questions came in real fast. Yes, I am sponsored by Dr. Pepper. I'm extremely excited about Infinity War, but at the same time, my excitement for Infinity War is a little bit tempered just by the fact of we've seen so much MCU that it's logged up goes, yeah, about that. Sorry, I get too excited when I'm doing live streams and say stupid things when I'm hopped up on all the caffeine. But Infinity War, my excitement's a little bit dampened, somewhat simply by the fact that we've just seen it. We've seen so much of it that the novelty of all of it coming together seems a little bit lost. And so you just lose a little bit of something. And it's kind of like with Justice League, why I'm still really excited, because we haven't seen it before. We haven't seen these characters live action come together. So, you know, I'm very interested to see where things go. Sean just said, I'm Sean actually. A different Sean said, did you like the Venom teaser? I don't know what you're talking about. There's can't possibly be an actual Venom teaser, I don't think. So must be like a fan thing, but I haven't heard anything about an actual one from the studio being put out. Someone said I should rank the Transporter movies. Yeah, I'm sure I'll do the Transporter movies at some point in time. I've seen all of them, even the weird reboot one a little bit ago. Jeannie says, rank the Fantastic Four movies. Actually, I want to do that one because of the Roger Corman one that people haven't watched. And so, I want to do the Fantastic Four movies for that reason, but I haven't watched any of them fairly recently, so I'd have to rewatch all 4 of the Fantastic Four movies to rank them, in which case my mind might explode if I have to do that. People keep asking about the Inhumans. I haven't watched the trailer for it. I'm mildly interested in it. I don't watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm not very interested in it. I don't like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'll probably check out Inhumans to see if I like it, but I'm not super in on it, into it, so unfortunately, but we'll see. Maybe it'll win me over and I'll kind of run for it. So there's some thoughts. If you guys are chiming in late, if you didn't know, I got some new lights. That's my old green screen. It's paper tacked on the wall, and then over here is this portable new one. And right behind me is a new stage set I'm working on for live streams, like the one that you're on right now. So, wow, I was meaning to go for like 10 minutes. You guys are keeping it interesting, so we're still going. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you are new, if you happen to be one of those people, consider clicking that subscribe button wherever it is. Moving into the TV season, I'm probably going to do a lot more streams like this. Ryan O'Toole asks, if I'm going to keep up the old green screen. For now, yes, just because it's there. And the advantage of that one is that it's the entire wall. So, like I've done a couple Van Damme type video things where I've kind of used green screen and skit type stuff, and you need a full wall to do that. And this one is only 5x7. It's very restrictive on where I can film. It's like I'm in this very tight little space. And so it works for when I'm sitting in a chair, but it doesn't work for anything beyond that. Whereas this full green screen helps me do other things. So that's why I want to keep it for whatever crazy, insane ideas we think will happen. Ivan is Piggies asked, when do you think the Avengers Infinity War trailer will come out? Very close to when Thor 3 comes out. So I would expect it to come out right around Thor Ragnarok. I think in front of Thor Ragnarok, you will be watching a trailer for Star Wars. You will be watching a trailer for Infinity War. Someone's asking about Season 2 of Masters of Movie Trivia. What's that show called again that I invented? Someone's asking me if I had so I could see my figures again. But Masters of Movie Trivia, yeah, so basically the deal on that is that it takes an enormous amount of time to make those. Just to sit and write the questions, that takes an hour or so, and that's if I get other people to help me. There's over an hour of prep work just writing good questions. Then I run them by people like Cody Leach to read them, look over them, run them by Durbin, Tyler, depending on who's competing. I don't run them by Jeff Vito, Anthony over at Silver Screen Analysis, and I have people check them to make sure there's questions that make sense so that people can go along with them. And so it's over an hour, 2 hours, just writing the questions. Then scheduling the people for when we're going to do it. That takes a while. Shooting it takes about 2 hours to shoot each episode between getting everyone there, filming it. We have to start and stop cameras throughout the whole thing. And then for everyone to send their footage to me and for me to download it, that takes days for me to be able to just download all the footage. And then to edit the whole thing takes about a week straight of that's what I edit that week, to be able to create an episode of Masters of Movie Trivia. It's very time consuming. And the first episode I did had like 300 views, which is good, especially at my channel at the time. 300 views was good. The second episode had 500 views, which I was very excited about. That's like, all right, 500 views, that's going up. That's the right direction. Very excited about that. Third episode had 200 views, which even at that point in time, my channel wasn't all that great. And then the third one, the season finale, was kind of like, someone asked me about my America shorts real quick. Yeah, I'm wearing these Rocky shorts. 300 views for the season finale. It just wasn't very good. I put out a ranking video, and every single one of these ranking videos I put out in 3 months that take me 30 minutes to shoot and edited within a couple hours, up on the internet, 2-3 hours. And they get, even the ones that don't do well, get 500, 600 views in the first 24 hours. The ones that do awesome, like the MCU ranking ones, get over 10,000 views in their runtime, or in their lifetime. Masters of Movie Trivia takes 10 times as long to make, and it gets, for a low episode, or for a low ranking, half the number of views. That's the problem. That's the background, all that. All that said, I think I'm going to do another episode of Masters of Movie Trivia in October that's going to be horror-based. I'm going to try and get some guys in the horror community, leverage some connections I have. And by connections I have, I mean Cody Leach has, and some guys I loosely know a little bit, Drum Dum, and try and get some of those guys that really know horror, work with Cody to write some questions, and I don't want to volunteer other people, but just so you know where things are headed, and try another one. And basically, if it gets 1,000 views on that one, I'll start planning a sixth episode pretty quickly. If it doesn't get 1,000 views, it might kind of be for me. I just don't know that this idea works. Jump forward 6 months, YouTube explodes, and this becomes my part-time, full-time job. Sure, that I can do things like that. But so long as this is just a hobby, that's my thing I do in the background, it's really tricky. It's very difficult to get them done, to keep the other content coming out. Like the ranking videos take a while to make because I have to rewatch those movies. I have to, it takes watching movie time. I research the Rotten Tomatoes stuff and other types of things, put notes into it, think through things, and then these take a while to edit because I try and put quality into them and try and line things up where there's lower thirds and switching out the graphics of the posters, all that stuff that makes it kind of look slick and like I put time into it, is because I put time into it. And if I'm doing Masters of Movie Trivia, then I can't do as much of that. That's the story on it. If you really want me to do a horror episode in October, keep telling me in the comments, messaging me. And then once we put it out there, we'll see what happens. Starter123 says, can you rank the High School Musical movies? Very tricky since I've seen 0 of them, which is kind of funny because I was I was a youth pastor from 2008 until last year, so about 8 years, right in that run of when the High School musical movies came out. And so my students knew all of them, could quote all of them, probably pretty important that I should have known them. And I was like, no, I've got standards. Now I still to this day listen to way too much One Direction, even when I'm alone in a car because of my years working with teenagers. But High School Musical is where I draw the line. So I haven't seen any of the High School musical movies, so that would be tricky for me to rank them. I'll do a ranking right now. The second one's my favorite, then the first one, the third one they really lowered the bar and it wasn't quite as good. That's based on nothing, but there's a ranking of them for no reason. I'll go a few more minutes if you guys can throw a few more questions at me. Um, do I think that Gwen Stacy should have died in Amazing Spider-Man 2? It's a hard question because I mean, the whole movie was kind of a mess of ideas crammed together. And so I don't mind that she died. That doesn't bother me. It bothered me the way she died in the movie she died in. All the things combined, like that movie as a whole didn't work. So, like, the whole thing is just a train wreck of bad ideas. So, yeah, I can't really answer that one nice and smoothly because the whole thing is just such a weird mess of, like, Green Goblin showed up. And I actually got in an argument with someone about this in the comment sections where he was like, yeah, but Green Goblin had to show up so that Gwen Stacy could die at the end. I was like, no, that's not how you make a movie. That's not how you write a script. You don't go, well, in the comics, this guy had to kill her, so that's why it had to happen. No, that's bad storytelling. That's Easter eggs, running things. That's the cart before the horse. That's not how you make a good movie. You don't go, let's just throw all this stuff in here, and Green Goblin's got to show up. You just don't do that. It's a bad idea. Someone asked if I could rank the Die Hard movies. It's definitely coming. Die Hard's one of those ones that whenever I have a lull week, where there's not obvious stuff to do, that's one of the ones that there's certain ones I'm always kind of have on a list for me to do. Die Hard's one of them. I almost did it 3 weeks ago. I'll probably almost do it next week, and then randomly I'll do it in like 3 weeks. But I mean, Die Hard, I think my favorite action movie of all time. Die Hard with a Vengeance, also one of the best action movies of all time, one of the great sequels of all time. Great series. I like 2 and 4, I don't have any significant issues with. I think those are solid action movies. Number 5, one of the worst movies ever made. But I definitely have a movie talking about them pretty soon. So, there you go. Trash Trackers, when do you upload? Whenever I finish doing stuff, there's no... I don't really... I have enough people around the world that watch my stuff. And I should schedule things more. I'm too impulsive. I'm a weird mix. Like, I actually, maybe try and show you real quick. I actually have videos mapped out for the rest of the year, like a full schedule. Let me pull this up on my Evernote and see if I can show you kind of how schedule-y I get on stuff. But I don't stick to my plans at all. So here you go. Here's my calendar in Evernote of what August was supposed to look like. There's, in theory, the map of every video I'm going to do in September. But I'm not going to stick to any of that. It's like a map to help me do things, but I just kind of go off from it. I have a weird mix of personality that I write plans pretty compulsively, think ahead, map things out, and then do something different. Someone asked me, do I script out my rankings? No, not at all. I have them ranked. Sometimes I'll put a few notes on something, but I don't do almost anything from a scripted. Well, like my podcast right now, I'm scripting the opening 30 seconds or so I say it concisely so I can get into the content. But as soon as I start talking about the news, if I do a movie review, as soon as I start talking about it, I think out scripts the opening of what I talk about, and everything else I just hit record and I go. The bulk of my rankings and my movie reviews, I shoot in almost one take by itself. I don't like last night I did this one for I Do Until I Don't, and that one had the most cuts of one of my reviews of when I was filming it, of something I've done in quite a while. But I go too long whether I do or don't have a script. If I were to actually like plan it out, map it out, I could do something really concise. But when I write notes, it just gives me more bullet points that I talk about, and so then I just can go in all these different directions because it's just kind of the way my brain works, that I can just talk about it. So I kind of have to just kind of go for it without any notes. Dalton says, would you ever be interested in filming a live reaction to a movie or a TV show? I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I just don't think I'd be very good at it. I don't have a reactive face. I get like when I'm talking about stuff, like my do big hand well, I talk with my hands obviously, and big facial expressions and stuff. But when like if you see any of my trailer reactions, I'm not good at it. I'm not. I don't like. Whoa! Did you see that? Like I don't do that stuff. And I've thought about doing a ranking video where I'm just acting, and so everything that happens, I just whoa man, booyah! But I'd be just putting on a show just to get views, which I guess not a bad it's not a bad thing to put on a show for people. I just don't want to do something fake. It's just not interesting to me. And the whole kind of reaction side of things isn't my thing. I just don't. I'm interested in ideas, opinions, discussing things, not you seeing my emotion to something. That's just not my thing that I'm good at is, I think, thinking, being analytical and articulating things. So I'm just not interested in even trying to be good at reactions. So I might do it just because people would ask me to, and I talk along with them. And so, especially with some of the stuff with TV shows coming up, I might just put the camera up while I'm watching The Flash and watching Arrow and interact back and forth with you guys in the comment sections and all that fun stuff so we can watch it together. That'd be fun. I do that, but it's a conversation. And well, it's my slogan. It's exactly that. I don't want to just talk about movies. I want to talk about movies with you. That's what I want to do. Just you kind of see me go, wow! That's not my thing. Someone just asked something. I was going to talk about it, and then I started talking about something else. Jeannie says, hey, I'm a new subscriber. Thank you so much for subscribing. I very, very greatly appreciate it. Do you watch The Impractical Jokers? No. What's your opinion on Terra Nova? Do you mean that TV show from a few years ago? I saw a few episodes of it, but I didn't finish it. So you're not Cody. So you're not reacting to season 4 then? I know what you're doing there, Cody. Don't get me in trouble. My wife actually said, hey, if I'm going to go to bed if you're going to be up there for a while. And I was like, no, it'll just be a few minutes. And then 40 minutes later, here I am. Anytime I get a crowd, I end up going way too long. I should have had her come up and join me. That's what we should have done. That would have been fun. I haven't seen Band of Brothers, so I can't do something like that. I can't rank the episodes because I've seen 0 of them. Trash Trekkers, I just subscribed. Awesome, man. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. This is my live stream. Well, actually, I guess I'm screaming all the time on video. That's what the funny thing is I'm actually shy and introverted in person and kind of pretty soft spoken. And then on video, I'm like big and loud. And so the people I work with slowly, I didn't talk about it at first. I had a YouTube channel, and then it's kind of become kind of a bigger thing. And so I started talking about it a little bit more. So a bunch of my coworkers have started watching me on YouTube, and they're like, "What is this? Like, you're like a different guy on camera. What are you doing?" GS, can you name all of the Batman actors right now? I mean, I can't name the actors that played him in the 40s on the serials. I can't name all of the voice actors, but if you go from the 60s, you would go with Adam West to the 80s. Then you have Michael Keaton, and then right up a couple years later, you get Kevin Conroy as the voice of Batman the Animated Series, as well as Master of the Phantasm. Then Val Kilmer steps in. A couple years after that, you get George Clooney joining in. Jump forward 8 years from there, you get Christian Bale coming in 2005, and then Mr. Affleck steps up to the plate 2016, and then I guess the year before that, 2015, we got Will Arnett as the Lego Batman. So here's the thing that happens. Oh, Comic Vision says, I swear, Sean Chandler, you're the best thing that's happened to YouTube. I love your videos. Keep it up the rest of it. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Winston asks, have you watched Adam Ruins Everything? I've watched some of them. Yeah, I've definitely watched some of them. Some of them enjoyed some of them. I get frustrated with some because he has like everyone else has an agenda, so that's frustrating. Like, it's awesome when you like what he's saying, and then it's frustrating when you don't. B-Wise, are you excited for the Tomb Raider remake? No. I mean, I'll see it. It'll probably have fun with it. I actually, I've watched the Angelina Jolie one for the first time just a year ago. I think a year ago is when I first watched that Tomb Raider one. I'd never seen it before, wasn't particularly interested in it. And then I didn't see the second one. I didn't play any of the games back in the day, and then I don't know, 3-4 years ago, Games with Gold on Xbox Live gave the rebooted Tomb Raider from, I don't know, 5 years ago. They gave it out for free. So I got Tomb Raider, whatever the reboot was from a few years ago, at that point in time, played the game, really enjoyed it. I thought it was really cool. And then Cody Leach told me a little bit ago that it's just a knockoff of Uncharted, and made me go, now I need to get the Uncharted games and play those. Those sound awesome if that's what they're like. I really enjoyed it, but I'm sure it'll be a fun adventure movie that I'll like. Jeannie asks, what's the better version of Superman 2? I'd call them equal. If Richard Donner actually got to make his would be better. But he didn't get to make his. He didn't. He had to. They did this cobbled together thing with a bunch of the other guys' footage. Therefore, I kind of view him as equal. The one theatrical released one is slicker, whereas Richard Donner, I think, is meatier in a better film or better potential. But that's kind of the take on it. Iker asks, can I write some questions for Masters of Movie Trivia? You can write some for me, send them my way, and I'll use them if they work. And if they don't work, I can't use them. But if you send the questions to me, I mean, I'll certainly enjoy potentially having them. But I mean, it's not so simple as, hey, I've got questions, I'm going to use them. I mean, especially like me and Cody, we dig deep and we are hard on questions and we rewrite them extensively, or we're critical of questions. And that's kind of the process of how they get made. And yeah, Comic Vision 101, do you like horror movies? Yeah, I'm not a big horror junkie. My wife doesn't do horror movies at all. Therefore, I don't watch them a ton until, like, more recently I've tried to. I stay up like 2 or 3 hours later than her every day. So that's kind of how things do. But as for that, I rank the Conjuring movies. I'm planning on ranking some horror series all throughout October. I'm working on some stuff already to make that happen. And I'm certainly going to do a Scream one. Trying to make a bunch of things happen. I watched the Saw movies recently. Iker asks, how do I give you questions? Iker, you message me on Facebook very regularly. Just send me questions. I'll copy them over. So there's no science to it. Just send me questions wherever you normally would, and I'll put them in a folder, and if they work, they work. So we can do. The October one's going to be about horror stuff, so that's the direction. Anyway, people keep asking me what YouTube channels I subscribe to. If you're talking about the big name ones, I actually listened to Collider Movie Talk. I more podcast that stuff. Big fan of John Campea and his stuff and his work. And I'm perfectly fine with him making the audio version of his podcast only for Patreon members. I'm totally fine with that. I just haven't become a subscriber yet. So I need to support him so I can get those audio versions of the ones. But him... Obviously, Jeremy Johns, Chris Stuckman, Screen Junkies, of course, do some really cool stuff. So the obvious, big, sweeping ones that everyone kind of wants. Someone asked me, rank all the Saw movies. I watched them for the first time a week ago, so I can rank them coming up soon. As for more local, kind of smaller YouTubers, I'm subscribed to 50, 100 smaller YouTubers, kind of guys, all kind of in my little circle. Someone's asked you, do I watch Nostalgia Critic? No, I don't. There's no he's just one I haven't gotten into. I know who he is. I've watched like a couple of his things. He's just not one that I've specifically gotten into. No reason or anything for that. It just hasn't happened. I need to give him a try. I know I'll probably like him. He's just one I haven't gotten into, probably because I've got too many things I'm already watching. But so smaller YouTubers, there's about 100 guys that they're just kind of my friends that are other creators. And when I got on YouTube, basically my philosophy for how I do my channel, how I respond to comments, and how I treat the community was, I want to talk about movies, so I'm going to go to your channel and I'm going to comment on your videos, and let's join me on my video. Let's talk. Let's be buddies. And that's kind of what I've done. So there's a bunch of these guys, like Pokey Han just joined in, and with him, like, subscribe to his channel and try and comment whenever he talks about movies. I head on over there, and just all these guys that talk about movies. That's what I want to do. And so I subscribed to like 100 of these kind of local, not, I guess, let's say local, smaller channels. And smaller, I mean, like under 10,000 subs. Bunch of people, like, I guess a notification just came out. A bunch of people are just chiming in now. Jay Vader's just joined in. Another guy that I subscribe to, watch his videos, or some of his videos every single week, and join the conversation. You should head on over there too. But yeah, so those are a lot of YouTube channels that I subscribe to, follow, because I just want to be a part of the community, talk about movies, support other guys, and just have fun on here. And it's awesome that we get to do this. Like, I'm talking to people right now, like all over the world. Actually, right now, since I'm putting this idea out there, where is everybody? Like, where are all the people watching this? Where are you? Like, around the world, who do you think's the farthest away from me? I'm in Texas. Anyone? So we got someone in Sweden watching right now, and that's awesome. Like right now, someone from Pokemons in South Dakota, Arizona, Florida, Omaha, Guatemala, Canada, Jacksonville, Florida. I mean, like, that's right now. All these movie fans, Australia. We've got someone in Australia, literally, and Tyler Tompkins. Tyler, you got me. Tyler said that he was behind me. Change 23 up in San Antonio, just down the road from me. And by just down the road, I mean 100 miles away. But it's awesome that bunch of movie fans come together, talk about movies, TV, Star Wars, Teddy Ruxpin, and BB-8, and this Empire Strikes Back Darth Vader lamp. Canada. Oh, got someone up in New York. Another person in Australia. I mean, that's just amazing to me that we're doing this. And that's why I started doing YouTube. I was talking with people on other people's channels, on comment sections, and I went, hey, I know how to talk to a camera. I can be energetic. Like right now, I've been talking for 50 minutes, screaming into the camera. Pokemon says, why are no good movies coming out lately? I don't know if are you talking about the whole summer or just if you're talking about just August, but August has been just slow because it's back to school season, so it always gets. I mean, like the indie stuff, the dramas have actually been good. Like, if you look at the smaller stuff coming out, there's a ton of greats. Wind River, Shock Collar, Good Time. Tyler tells me that one's great. Bunch of smaller stuff's good. It's the big stuff that just hasn't delivered recently. I hadn't even thought about it. Who is Teddy Bear? Oh, this is Teddy Ruxpin right here. This is a cool story, actually. So I had one of these growing up. Huge Teddy Ruxpin fan. He plays a tape and his mouth moves. I don't see if I can get this. Oh, his batteries have dead. Right? Nope, he's not. Oh. His mouth's moving, just a creepy. Uh-oh. All right, did you lose me? All right, I'm back. My phone's about to die. I think it's. I thought my phone actually did die, so I better close things out. But yeah, Teddy Ruxpin was. I had one of these growing up, and then it kind of face fell off, all sorts of stuff. And then one of my sister's best friends just found one at their house or something like that in mint condition and gave it to me about a year ago. And I was like, that is definitely. I gave it to my sister, and my sister gave it to me. I don't know, 6 months, a year ago. And so there it is on the wall. So I don't know if that was my internet or my phone dying, but someone's asking. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. This went on way longer than I thought it would. Thank you so much that you care about all this stuff. Dude, Theo says, have you seen the Captain Underpants? No, but my family went to go see it today, and I chose not to go. So the reason I haven't seen my MoviePass and everything, but I just chose not to go to Captain Underpants, even though I was there at the theater. So it's the reason I haven't seen it. I just haven't. Emoji Movie, I don't know if I'll ever see that one. I just no interest at all. And big shout outs to the crew, Log Dump, Pokehon, Cody Leach. My phone is definitely at 1%. Gamer Cop, bye. Final one goes to Gamer Cop. I'm at 1%. The phone is dying.